The woman married 5 beast husbands, but never consummated the marriage with any of them. It's all because her first love married her best friend to keep up with others. She started taking in beast husbands like crazy, but thought none of them could compare to her first love. So she took out her frustration by torturing her beast husbands. She even flogged the Wolf King Admiral while he was hung from a tree. The handsome Black Mountain native had his tail cut off and thrown into prison. Even the Golden Dragon Prince had all his scales plucked and sold at the black market for auction. Now Sheely, who was pulled here by the system to fix the mess, looked at the White Wolf King chained up in front of her. She wanted to slap herself so bad, and cursed the original owner for wasting such a treasure. Such a gorgeous hunk, and she didn't even enjoy him. She even tortured him for no reason. Looking at Haiga's insanely handsome face, Sheely hurriedly snatched the key from the guard and unlocked all the chains binding Haiga. Haiga didn't express any gratitude after being released. Instead, he shifted to his half-beast form right away and pushed her to the ground with one hand. Staring at Haiga in front of her, Shirley almost started drooling. She's literally obsessed with hot guys. Even though the system killed her in her original world, this beast world where females are extremely rare and hold extremely high status is literally perfect for her. She was an orphan anyway. After seeing such a hunk tied up like that, she barely had any attachment left to her old world. She accepted her new identity super quickly. She didn't even care about the pain from falling and got into character immediately. Wait, let me explain. I must have been out of my mind before. I've come to my senses now. Everything I did before was my fault. Save your sweet talk, it won't work on me. We're getting divorced today. Haiga couldn't stand Sheely's unreasonable behavior anymore. This time she even threatened his family to torture him. Wolves are pack animals. Even though beastmen have evolved, they still retain their natural instincts. Family to him has always been the most important thing. Especially since Haiga has White Wolf King bloodline, he has an extra innate urge to protect his family, as part of his natural duty. But after we get divorced, you will be punished, you know. You won't even be able to get any job anymore. You won't have any way to survive at all. Isn't living with you already a punishment? Haiga's eyes were full of sorrow. As the youngest admiral in history, he was supposed to have a bright future ahead. But it was all ruined by the female in front of him. No military force would ever hire a male who has been divorced. They believe if a man isn't loyal to his wife master, he will never be loyal to the country either. I will change, I promise. Sheely looked completely sincere. Right now, she even thinks the system sent her to this world just to save all these poor people. Change, even if the world ends. You will never change. Haiga finally couldn't hold back his anger anymore. He walked quickly up to Sheely and lifted her entire body up with one hand. There was a loud smacking sound, leaving a red kiss mark on Haiga's cheek. All the surrounding guards were stunned instantly. Haiga went from his puffed-up angry state to blushing bright red all of a sudden. He froze completely on the spot. His wife master just kissed him? Ever since they got married, even if he accidentally touched her hand, she would wash it frantically afterwards. And now she kissed him on her own initiative. Haiga loosened his grip on her in a daze. He wanted to scold her about something, but found his brain had completely stopped working. Are a female's lips really this soft? And that faint sweet scent coming off her body. He has a super sensitive sense of smell, but he couldn't tell what the scent was for a second. The part of her body he accidentally touched was also unbelievably soft. He had never felt any of this before. It was so intoxicating. I swear to God, I really will change, and I'll let you go back to the military to resume your post, as long as you can come home to see me when you have free time. Sheely genuinely wanted to make it up to him. All the beast husbands who were with the original owner lived absolutely horrible lives. Abuse, threats, confinement. They weren't even allowed to stay at their original posts and continue working. Wife masters have the right to decide whether their beast husbands can go back to work or not. Some wife masters who have many beast husbands will make some of their beast husbands quit their jobs and stay at home to take care of her full-time. Haiga was really worried he would be forced to resign. The first 4 beast husbands Sheely has have enough dowry to support her for several lifetimes. Back when everyone in the military heard he was picked by a female, and the king personally arranged their marriage. Everyone looked regretful one after another, and today is the final deadline for returning to the port. No one expected Sheely would actually let him go back to the army. For a second, Hager felt like he was dreaming. If he could really return to the army, maybe this marriage wasn't totally necessary. But judging from all of Shili's previous actions, he thought she was just spouting total nonsense. I'm allowing you to go back right now. Right after she finished speaking, she stuffed the house key card into Hager's pocket and looked at him with sincere eyes. Hager grabbed the card immediately and rushed out of the confinement room, heading straight for the front door. The front door was actually opened. He was free. Hager looked at Shili in shock. She didn't act like she usually did, throwing a hysterical fit the second she saw him trying to leave the house. Instead, she looked at him with a hint of relief. I'll apply to the army to come home every day. Seeing that Shili really had no intention of going back on her word, Hager also made a compromise. After seeing Hager off, Shili suddenly felt a little bored again. That lousy system gave her the advanced mental soothing ability, then vanished completely. She immediately continued absorbing the original owner's memories. What she found was totally insane. She didn't let go of any of her 5 beast husbands. Even as of right now, one of them is still unaccounted for. The key question right now is whether to save the dragon at the black market auction first, or save the snake in the underground prison first. She felt if she was late for either one, it would cause a whole lot of trouble. After thinking it over, she decided to go to the auction first. After all, the snake can't run around randomly in prison. But if she's even a little late for the dragon, someone else might really buy him first. She ran out of the front door quickly, only to find she had no idea how to use the local transport here. The original owner barely ever left the house anyway. Oh my goodness, do you have any urgent business, miss? Just then, a very expensive-looking car slowly landed from above. Could you please give me a ride to the black market? It's so rare to see a noble female like you show up in public on the road. It's my absolute honor to have you ride in my car. It's no trouble at all. They arrived at the entrance of the black market in no time. Shili originally thought the black market would be like back alleys, a gathering place for street thugs. But it turned out to be extremely fancy. The moment Shili walked in, everyone automatically made way for her. Even an attendant hurried over nervously. My beautiful goddess, are you here to purchase something? Why would you come to a place like this in person? Are the guards assigned to you by the Female Protection Association not responsible enough? The attendant led her to a private box nervously and respectfully. This also let Shili have a new understanding of the status of females in this world. Shili said to the attendant, I'm looking for someone. His name is Yansen. He's my beast husband. Shili fidgeted with her fingers guiltily, wondering if this went against the auction house's rules. The attendant stared at Shili in shock. It's very common for beast husbands to be sold by their female owners if they're not satisfied. This is the first time he's seen a wife regret the sale. When she saw Jensen's tall figure, trapped inside a tiny iron cage, Shili's regret reached its peak. If only she'd transmigrated a little earlier. Now she's stuck with a huge mess to clean up. How am I supposed to appease so many men? This is such a headache. Even though she was some distance away from the iron cage, she could still see that the tail of half-beast Yansen was covered in bloodstains, along with scales that the original owner had pulled out. Before she could even speak after walking over, Yansen, who had been let out, tackled Shili straight to the ground. Everyone around gasped in surprise. Some ran to call the guards, while the braver ones went over to pull Yansen away. All of you get out. We need to talk alone. Looking at the handsome face that suddenly popped up right in front of her, Shili swallowed nervously. Yansen's eyes were filled with bitter hatred at this moment. Shili couldn't help but suck in a cold breath. She thought this guy would turn into his beast form any second and eat her alive. Come home, give me a chance to make it up to you. I'll make it up to you 100 times over if you come home. Yansen grabbed Shili by the neck and started ranting angrily. This is what you promised me back then. That you'd treat me well. I gave up my royal identity for you. And this is how you treat me. Yansen's breathing became heavy from excitement. Yansen, a golden dragon, was originally a royal prince. If he wanted to keep his royal identity, he either had to marry a princess from another planet or marry into a noble family. But Yansen had such a bad temper that he got rejected many times. He started giving up on himself, which is how he ended up meeting the evil original owner. But Shili's family is just a regular household of hereditary nobles. At this moment, Yansen, of course, couldn't keep his identity as a prince anymore. And the original owner's first love back then was also just married to her bestie. So the two of them had a ridiculously quick flash marriage. Jansen really once thought the original owner was his salvation. Let's put it this way, among the 5 husbands, the only one who ever loved and was loved by the original owner is just Jansen right in front of her. Shili, who was being choked by the neck, could barely breathe. She struggled hard to pull his hand away. She felt if this went on any longer, she would be choked to death. All of a sudden, Jansen's pupils turned even more bloodshot red. Even though she had never controlled mental power before, Shili knew Jansen in front of her was about to speak. The enraged Jansen's fingers gradually hardened. His sharp claws looked like with just a little force, they could snap her neck right off. Didn't you say you wanted to talk alone? Why are you too scared to speak now? Shili was completely pinned down firmly, facing the threat of death. At this moment, the terminal on her wrist triggered a red alert. This is a special alarm the Protection Association installed to keep females safe. It monitors their vital signs in real time. When Shili sorted through this memory, she was shocked by how advanced the technology was, but also felt a chill down her spine. They are treated like precious treasures, but they're being monitored every single second. If you're still so hung up on that guy, then no one gets to live a good life. Go to hell with me. He couldn't understand. He had tried so hard. Why, in Shili's eyes, there was still only that first love of hers. The blaring alarm and footsteps outside the door didn't scare Jansen at all. It made him even more crazed. Let go of her right now. Keep this up and we'll shoot. The soldiers who rushed in quickly surrounded the two of them. Facing these threats, Jansen let out a disdainful snort. His married life had practically driven him insane. Dying like this would be a relief for him. Shili weakly called out to stop him. Jansen suddenly felt his vision go black. His whole body was wrapped in a layer of warm, soft light. Shili stared at the nerves in her consciousness. That looked like a messy ball of yarn, and fell deep in thought. This must be the super powerful soothing ability the system mentioned. Right before it disappeared. Soothing someone is basically untangling this yarn ball in the mental sea. Shili studied the yarn ball carefully and decided to just start untangling it first. But the second her finger touched the yarn, it was like the yarn was alive. It wrapped around her finger right away, and even rubbed all over Shili's body for a bit. Before slowly disappearing into the dark mental sea reluctantly, Shili felt like those yarn strands had taken all her energy away. Her eyelids got so heavy she could barely keep them open, but she couldn't fall asleep. If she passed out, they would definitely not let Jansen off the hook. Don't lock him up. Shili snapped her eyes open and realized she was covered in cold sweat. But the scene in front of her felt totally unfamiliar. Lily, thank God you're awake. The Protection Association came to find me. Said you got hurt and were in the hospital. I was scared to death. The woman in front of her was her bestie, He Bye-Bye. Where's Jansen? Shili had no mood to talk to He Bye-Bye right now. She was only worried if Jansen had been locked up. You're still talking about him? That whole thing was so terrifying. That's the first time I've ever seen a beast folk in half-beast form. He Bye-Bye didn't answer her directly. She just covered her mouth. With a terrified look on her face, that fake, pretentious, scheming tone made Shili want to throw up so bad. Lily, isn't a monogamous relationship good? Look at you, you have so many beast husbands. And look how things turned out for you. Look how harmonious Aman and I get along. He Bye-Bye was rambling on excitedly when a strange man pushed open the ward door. It wasn't until the man looked up that Shili recognized who he was. This was the original owner's first love, right? When she saw the original owner's first love, Shili was confused for a second. Feldman and Jansen are half-brothers sharing the same mother, even though he's also pretty good-looking. But she already has Jansen by her side. Why would she be so obsessed with Feldman, who's already married? Besides, Jansen is a much more auspicious golden dragon. Feldman has the common ink dragon bloodline among the dragon clan. The original owner really had a gem and treated it like trash. Feldman put on a gentle look after walking in. He rubbed He Bye-Bye's head softly, but his eyes were fixed straight on Shili on the hospital bed. He Bye-Bye snuggled up in Feldman's arms and didn't notice at all that his gaze wasn't on her at all. Shili was a little confused. She only inherited a limited amount of the original owner's memories. I don't get it. Why Feldman is staring at me like that? Seeing Shili didn't react at all, Feldman looked confused. Oh right, Lily. You already have 5 beast husbands. When are you guys planning to have a baby? Don't tell me you've been messing around and still have a crush on my Aman, huh? Hey, bye-bye. Suddenly dropped his gentle act just now. There was a hint of danger in his eyes when he looked at Shili. But Shili was so wronged. Based on the memories she has, she and her 5 beast husbands haven't done anything intimate yet. She's been labeled as a flirt, but hasn't gotten any real benefits at all. Bye-bye, go ask the nurse how long we need to stay under observation. I'm a bit tired. I want to sit for a while. Feldman suddenly changed the subject. He even gave he bye-bye an affectionate kiss after saying that. He bye-bye. Was fooled by this lousy excuse and went out. Only Feldman and Shili were left in the ward. For a moment, Shili felt super awkward. She couldn't help turning her face to look out the window. She was kind of worried about where Jansen was sent. I just didn't come to see you for 3 days. Why are you throwing a tantrum at me? Feldman actually sat right on the hospital bed. Shili's eyes widened in shock. She had no idea what was going on. Stop playing dumb with me. Where'd you learn this little play hard to get trick again? You're such a naughty one. Feldman took Shili's reaction. As her playing games with him, he reached out to touch Shili's face. Shili jumped off the hospital bed right away, dodging that perverted hand. Wait, is Feldman the one cheating on his spouse? Or is the original owner the cheater in marriage? This plot doesn't match the memories at all. Why did I lose such important memories? Are you insane? You should call me sister-in-law by seniority. Shili was about to lose her mind. This so-called first love doesn't have any of the pride a first love should have. Did you get hit so hard you lost your mind? Since when are you so affectionate with my brother? There's a limit to throwing tantrums. Shut up, no matter what happened between us before. It's all in the past. Don't say such ridiculous stuff. Feldman squinted his eyes. He suddenly couldn't understand the Shili in front of him. Before, he thought Shili was super easy to read. Just a little girl who loves to keep up with others and is a bit rebellious. He loved that he could control Shili's emotions however he wanted. A tiny move from him could make her restless for days. But now, she keeps talking about her useless brother. That really annoyed him. What ridiculous stuff. Those were the love promises we made to each other, right? Feldman pressed on step by step. He didn't believe someone could change so much overnight. I admit I married he bye-bye partly to show off. His family has a higher title than yours, after all. But that doesn't stop us from picking up where we left off. Right? You said that yourself. Besides, what's so good about my brother? He's just an uneducated loser. Seeing him get more and more worked up, Shili raised her hand and slapped him across the face. Feldman looked completely shocked. As he covered his cheek, hitting on other females behind your wife's back? You're so shameless. For what you did today alone, I could throw you in jail. She thought. The original owner's first love was some super holy guy. Turns out he's just a manipulative psycho. Shili pulled open the ward door to leave, only to bump right into a solid chest. She looked up confusedly, only to see Hagel's gloomy face. He was still in his military uniform, hadn't even changed yet. He rushed over as soon as he got the news. But as soon as he got to the ward door, he heard another man's voice inside. He instantly felt like a total clown. Why are you here? City had no idea that Hagel in front of her was already furious. Passed by after work, came to check if you're dead yet. Work? Shili looked at the time on her wrist terminal in shock. I slept for that long. Do you know where Jansen was taken? Long time no see, Admiral. Feldman? This shameless guy actually walked over on his own. Yeah, Chief Justice. Last time we met was when we were trying interstellar criminals. Hagel forced a smile. Feldman obviously noticed Hagel was unhappy, but he didn't take him seriously at all. Just a brat, who climbed the ranks fast just because he earned military merits with his recklessness. How can he compare to someone with my family background? Doesn't the Chief Justice need to stay with his wife? My wife is sick. I have to take her home to rest properly. I don't have time to wander around outside with you. Hagel didn't hear all of what was just said, but he could still get the gist of it. Feldman has other intentions toward Shili. I already asked the doctor when I came. He said it's okay to go home and recover. But that good friend of yours seems to have some other thoughts about that doctor. I saw them chatting really happily. After saying that, Hagel bent down and lifted Shili straight up by the waist, leaving Feldman alone standing there stunned. Until the two of them were completely out of sight, that he came back to his senses. What was he bye-bye doing in the doctor's office anyway? He hurried toward the doctor's office. So where the hell did Jansen go? He didn't mean to attack me, Shili. Didn't even finish her sentence. before she was tossed onto the passenger seat. He won't die, but if you keep nagging about him, that might change. He'd rushed over anxiously to see Shilly. But she's always thinking about another guy. Sure enough, the more proactive you are, the less you're worth. The angrier he got, the more he thought about it. The whole car was filled with heavy tension. Shilly was too scared to say a single word. After all, Hegel works for the military. He has jurisdiction over the prisons. If you piss Hegel off, Janssen might actually end up dead. The two drove to their front door. Hegel leaned over into the passenger seat and reached out to carry her. Shilly quickly refused, but Hegel ignored her and carried her straight into the house. I have working hands and feet. You don't have to carry me all the time. Go do whatever you need to do. Does my wife not know? What a beast husband should be busy with at night. As he spoke, he pressed Shilly down hard. Shilly blushed immediately and shoved against Hegel's chest. But this guy didn't budge an inch. Shilly felt her heart was about to beat out of her chest. Hegel didn't care at all and buried his face deep in Shilly's neck. The warm touch made Shilly gasp out loud without thinking. But right at that moment, the doorbell rang. Get off me right now. We have guests. Hegel finally let go of Shilly unhappily and licked his lips dissatisfiedly. You smell so good. He opened the door to see a group of people in police uniforms standing there. The scene shocked Shilly so much she jumped. Dear madam, we are staff from the Female Protection Association. Our terminal detected you were in danger today. We'd like to check on your current condition and ask how you want to handle the beast husband who attacked you. Do you want him treated like your previous beast husband and locked up in the underground prison? Shilly couldn't follow what they were talking about for a second and didn't react immediately. Your previous beast husband Elton was locked up because of Gong Jinning. He's already in the underground prison now. The staff pulled up Elton's photo. A fair-skinned face appeared on the terminal with a pair of gold-rimmed glasses on the nose, paired with those sharp, mature facial features. Lai thinks there's only one word to describe Elton. Two-faced scumbag. Do I have the right to let both of them go home now? I think there was some misunderstanding between us before. The one who was tortured the longest by the original owner is Elton. After all, he was the first to marry the original owner. They used to be neighbors. He took good care of the original owner when she was little. Later, naturally, they got married under their parents' arrangement. Elton also gave up his job as a researcher to stay home as a house husband. But now he's been locked up in prison by the original owner. She suddenly realized each of these beast husbands has their own miserable story. The staff thought they misheard. After all, the male-to-female ratio in interstellar society is completely imbalanced. Sometimes, an entire planet might not even have 10 females. While there are human males everywhere you look, I want both of them to come home. It was all my fault. I was angry at the time. It's all on me. Shilly was a little worried. What if she doesn't have the right to release both of them? That would be a huge sin. You are such a beautiful, kind, and noble female. We will send both of them over as soon as possible. Hearing these compliments, Shilly's face got redder and redder. She was really feeling guilty. After sending this big group of people away, Shilly's stomach started growling. It feels like ever since she came to this world, she hasn't eaten a single bite of food. She opened the fridge door, only to find it full of nutrient solutions of all colors. Isn't there any real food here? How is this not real food? Hegel, who just came out of the room, was a little confused, like there's no veggies or meat at all. These nutrient drinks look super nasty just from the sight of them. Shilly reached into the fridge and pulled out a bottle of pink liquid. She shook her head and put the bottle back. She remembered 2 more people would be back soon. Even though they just got out of lockup, she still decided to make a nice meal. Think of it as a welcome home feast. She turned to look at Hege and asked, Do you know where I can buy veggies, meat, and seasonings? Her soft, fair little hand was still clutching the fabric of his shirt at his chest tightly. There are places, but they're pretty expensive. Hege looked away awkwardly, not used to this closeness. A suspicious red tint crept up the tip of his ear. He kept feeling like Shilly had suddenly become a completely different person. The old Shilly would never get this close to him. Can you lend me some money first, then? I'll pay you back once I get a job, I promise. Is all the money saved in your terminal? He was so stunned today that Hege almost wondered if Shilly had been swapped with someone else. After a male gets married, they no longer have the right to control their own property. Otherwise, females can't work and would just starve to death. To prevent this from happening, after marriage, a male's asset account will automatically be bound to his female partner's terminal. Shuli opened her terminal, staring at the endless string of numbers. Her jaw almost dropped to the floor. What the hell are you planning? Haga helped Shuli open the delivery interface on the terminal. Duh, making a welcome feast for Jansen and Elton, obviously. The little female stared at the screen in front of her excitedly. Item by item, she carefully added everything she needed to the shopping cart. Haga had seen how Shuli and Jansen interacted for a few days, and it was really terrible. He felt like if it weren't for the Protection Association, Shuli would have been torn to pieces a long time ago. What beef did Elton have with Shuli before? He had no idea, but he did know. Elton was Shuli's first ultra-wealthy partner. With things getting this bad, the bad blood between the two of them wasn't any less than the issues she had with Jansen. After she finished placing the order, Shuli rushed to the kitchen excitedly. Haga's eyes followed Shuli's footsteps to the kitchen. She can cook? She's probably just gonna poison the two of them, right? Worried, he followed her in. Shuli looked at the appliances in the kitchen and couldn't help complaining in her head. This kitchen can only make simple meals. Looks like I need to renovate this kitchen when I get the chance. Otherwise, I can't cook properly at all. The ingredients arrived really fast. Haga took the initiative to carry the big heavy bag of stuff and set it on the table. Shuli got super excited. Back in her original world, she grew up in an orphanage. She lived a really tight life growing up. There were so many things she wanted to eat but couldn't afford. But now, the cooking skills she learned working at a restaurant finally had a chance to shine. Then she told Haga to go wash the veggies. But he said he really doesn't like eating veggies, especially leafy greens. But he had no choice and did as he was told. Shuli, who was heating up oil in the pot, kept feeling that Haga standing beside watching was a ticking time bomb. Who knows if he'd suddenly jump over and cover the pot, messing up her cooking, so she just kicked him out of the kitchen and told him to wait outside nicely for the meal. Watching Shuli busy working in the kitchen, while he sat comfortably on the sofa waiting, Haga got really worried at that moment. Would he get arrested by the Female Protection Association for this? The doorbell rang again. It was still those same staff members. After handing the keys and the two men over to Haga, the staff left. Elton was still pretty calm. He just didn't look very well. Jansen, on the other hand, was totally furious. Even though his hands were still chained, he took a quick step forward, ready to charge in and kill Shuli. Haga immediately stepped in to stop him. Are you out of your mind? Didn't you want a divorce the second you got married? I'll be the bad guy here. If she dies, the most you'll get is a widower status. You won't get punished for divorce. Seeing Haga stopping him, Jansen had a look of total disbelief on his face. When Haga first got married, he was the one throwing a huge fit about it. Jansen even comforted him back then, telling him to calm down. How is he suddenly on Shuli's side now? If you want to kill her, do it when none of us are around. You think her terminal is just for decoration? Haga didn't know what was wrong with him either. He stopped Jansen completely on instinct. We have guests? Why aren't you inviting them in? Shuli's little head suddenly popped out from beside Haga. She regretted popping out right away. She thought it was some random guest. Turns out it was those two big troublemakers being sent back. Why is it still locked? Shouldn't they unlock all the locks before sending them back? Both of them even have oxygen masks on their faces. The people over there said the decision is up to you. With that, Hagel handed over the key. But Shuli just pushed it right back to him. You go unlock it for them. I've got a soup cooking inside. Hurry up and come wash your hands for dinner after unlocking. He's not an idiot. Jansen's face right now looks like he wants to tear me apart alive. With that, she rushed back to the kitchen, looking at Shuli's slender back, with a clumsily tied bow on her apron and fuzzy house slippers on her feet. The three men's eyes followed her the whole time. As she walked into the kitchen, for a moment, they felt something soft in their hearts had been touched. Jansen and Elton stood awkwardly frozen first, then sat down on the sofa, watching Shuli carry all the dishes from the kitchen to the table by herself. Just then, Elton finally spoke his first line of the day. Is this some new android technology? Did Shuli go chasing some true love again? And just abandon the whole family? He's been here for almost half a year. He couldn't help sighing at how fast technology develops. What is he rambling about? Don't tell me you can find a charging port on my body. Shuli had just set the whole table of dishes. When she heard Elton say that out of nowhere, annoyed, Sheely walked up to Elton and grabbed his chin angrily. As my first married beast husband, shouldn't you know better than anyone if I'm the real me? Whether you're real or not, I have to check it myself to be sure. Elton said it straightforwardly, and acted even more straightforwardly. His big hand slipped right under Sheely's loose shirt hem. Sheely couldn't help letting out a scream. Blushing, she burrowed into Hagel's arms. Seeing Sheely burrow into Hagel's arms so readily, both Elton and Jansen were very unhappy. No wonder you had a change of heart. Turns out you got a new lover. Jansen's tone was clearly jealous. The atmosphere gradually grew tense again. The food's getting cold. Come sit at the table now. Sheely felt a bit awkward during the meal. In her past life, she was bad at getting along with guys, let alone juggle relationships with so many men at once. When the guys saw the great-looking dishes on the table, they were all pretty surprised. They even wondered if it was some new type of poison. Stop drinking those nutrient solutions every day. Good food is also a form of mental healing. Sheely excitedly picked up a piece of braised pork and held it up to Hagel's mouth. She didn't dare do that to Jansen right now. That guy keeps threatening to kill her. His danger level ranks #1 for sure. As for Elton, her so-called childhood sweetheart, her gut told her, people who always squint like that are never good people. Not to mention the original owner tortured him for so long. His hatred for her is probably no less than Jansen's. He's just better at pretending. She can only get close to Hegel right now, to ask for his help later. Hegel stared at the braised pork in front of his mouth. He was super nervous inside. Is this thing really not poisonous? I thought you hated eating vegetables. This is pure meat, duh. Sheely was a bit confused. She couldn't help leaning forward a bit more. A patch of fair skin immediately came into Hagel's view. Hegel could feel heat spreading through his body. You guys eat first. I'm gonna go take a shower. With that, he ran into the bathroom. Sheely didn't give up. She turned and offered the pork to Elton instead. Elton saw that and immediately figured out what was going on. He couldn't help snickering. He's still a little pup after all. Running away instead of seizing an opportunity like this? All right, I'll eat it. Can you give me mental soothing tonight, then? Elton didn't dodge. Instead, he started bargaining with Sheely. Mental soothing? Isn't that just sorting out those messy yarn balls? That's super easy. I just get a little tired after doing it, that's all. Sheely agreed right away. Now it was Elton's turn to be shocked. Before he was thrown into prison, Sheely would never even bother to give mental soothing to her beast husbands. Actually, all females don't like doing it. Not only does it drain a lot of energy, it can also be too much for your body to handle. After Elton confirmed she was serious, he ate the braised pork without hesitation. Besides being shocked by how good it tasted, there was an unmistakable sense of aggression in his eyes. It's delicious. 10,000 times better than the cooks at Tianjiao Academy. Hearing Elton's comment, Jansen scoffed. Both of you are just sucking up to her. He didn't believe Sheely could cook. He directly picked up a piece of chicken. After eating it, he stared blankly at Sheely right away. But he just couldn't get any words of praise out. Elton picked up a piece of meat and held it to Sheely's mouth. She had been busy for such a long time just now. She hadn't even had time to take a single bite. Right now, she's really craving some food. So they somehow reached a weird unspoken agreement. Nobody brought up the previous conflicts between them. Sheely got fed bite by bite by Elton until she was full. Sheely, from her childhood up till now, had never been treated like this before. There was delicious food right in front of her. Next to her was a hunk with firm muscles feeding her the whole time. This was literally the perfect life. When she made eye contact with Elton again, Sheely couldn't help blushing a little. He's being so gentle right now. I was being dirty-minded earlier, so everything looked bad to me. He's clearly a super caring guy who dotes on others. You're so sweet. No one has ever fed me before. Looking at Sheely's sincere eyes. It was Elton instead who felt guilty about his own improper thoughts. After everyone finished eating, Sheely planned to clear the plates. When Jansen saw Sheely actively cleaning up, he looked like he had just seen a ghost. She's always lazy and moody. Why would she volunteer to do housework? Then Jansen stepped up and took over the work. He can't make a move on Sheely when other beast husbands are present. Otherwise, they would get dragged into this too. It's not the right time yet. He planned to lay low and survive first. Let's go back to the room for mental soothing. Do you want to shower first, or should I? Elton was confused. Do we need to shower for mental soothing? Sheely didn't quite process what he said. When she did the soothing for Yansen before, she didn't shower then either. We don't have to shower if you don't want. As he said that, he picked Sheely up with one firm move and headed towards the bedroom. But right when they got to the door, they were stopped by Hege, who just came out of the bathroom. You can't trick a young female like that, can you? How did I trick her? She agreed to it herself. We're both guys. Don't think I don't know what you're up to. Sheely was awkwardly stuck between the two men. Hege had a really unfriendly look on his face, and he was being uncharacteristically aggressive. He even tried to reach out and pull her out of Elton's arms. But the way the two of them were talking seemed like they were speaking in riddles. Sheely couldn't understand a thing. What's it to you? We've only been married a few days, and you're already bought off by him. Elton was talking back while his hands also tightened their grip a little more. A fight was just about to break out. In the blink of an eye, Hege had already grabbed Elton's arm, trying to use force to get Sheely away from him. Sheely felt like she was sitting on Elton's arm and was about to fall off any second. What's even the point of fighting over me? We can just take turns one day each, right? One day each? That sounds nice in your head. But with your tiny little body, you probably won't be able to handle it. Yansen, who was still cleaning the kitchen, suddenly popped up. When I finished giving you mental soothing last time, you only slept till evening, right? It didn't feel that hard, did it? I could even do 2 a day. Sheely looked kind of proud of herself. Looks like that runaway system left me a pretty useful skill. You were the one who gave me mental soothing. Yansen was totally shocked. He couldn't help grabbing Sheely's wrist. He always thought he was just lucky. Even when he was in half-beast form, he could stabilize his emotions on his own. For a second there, he couldn't believe the proud Sheely would stoop so low to use her body to soothe him, because mental soothing takes a lot of physical strength and mental energy, even though some females choose to only do physical soothing to save energy. But with a female's weaker body, it's still really tiring physical work. Not to mention pulling him back from the edge of a full beast rampage to his normal form. Soothing abilities like this are super rare even across the entire Interstellar Federation. What? You gave him mental soothing? Now it was Hege's turn to be shocked. His anger immediately shifted to Yansen. How dare you give him mental soothing first? Elton's anger also shifted to Yanseno. I'm your first beast husband. Shouldn't your first time be with me? Elton, who had been pretending to be gentle this whole time, finally snapped at this moment. To hell with childhood sweethearts. Childhood sweethearts. Even though all of that is true, but he was the only one who took it seriously the whole time. Even when he knew Sheely still pined for that one that got away. Back then, Elton only thought it was good enough as long as they got married. At least he would have an official title. Everything else could be nurtured slowly over time. Now that all looks like total bullshit made to fool idiots. Since when did such a rule exist? Aren't these things supposed to belong to whoever is more capable? Brother Hay got pissed off. If that's the case, as Sheely's last beast husband, does that mean he has to wait till last for everything? Why the hell should he always be inferior to these seniors? Crack! It sounded like something had cracked. Sheely looked in the direction of the sound. He immediately covered his own mouth. Elton was so angry that he actually crushed the doorknob. There were even cracks appearing on the adjacent wall, too. Seeing Elton flex his strength, Brother Hay was not willing to be outdone. He reached out and punched the wall directly. It's just a strength competition, right? Brother Hay has more than enough strength. Seeing the two males, both randomly starting to show off their strength for no reason. Even though Jensen thought this behavior was a bit stupid, his competitive nature made him join the contest anyway.